Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am collecting madness. There's always madness in love, and we love collecting. Alright guys, we are back with another Hot Toys unboxing, and this time it's from Marvel, and it's none other than Loki himself, the God of Mischief. Let's dive in. Alright, so taking a look at the front of the box, you can automatically see Loki's scepter there, him wearing the helmet, which we'll see later on in the video, and we'll talk about that sculpt. You can see MMS 579 there. I just love Marvel's boxes sometimes, so it's nice to change it up a little bit compared to Hot Toys, and it's just beautiful gold and green design. You know, the effects that he gives out of his hands using his powers and stuff like that, and the shoulder there, or the scepter, wraps around, and then you got the Avengers logo there. This is from Endgame, however, it's the 2012 look, you know, when they went back in time, which happens to be my favorite version of Loki, and since it's from Endgame, I get the best of both worlds. But taking off that cover, if it wants to come off, sorry for the glare there, you can see the pop-out window of Loki himself in there, as well as all the other accessories there in the clamshell, and we'll get all of that stuff out. We'll quit talking about the box, and we'll take a look at him after the accessories. Before we start the accessories, I do want to say a massive shout out to all of you. I got so carried away with Loki that I forgot to thank you all for subbing, and if you haven't subbed and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing to the channel. We have a goal of 750. We're a little bit under 20 away from 700, and that is super awesome, and I'm so happy. I can't wait to go forward on this journey even more. Also, while you're down there, if you like the video, hit the like button. Always helps the channel out. Appreciate it. Starting from the left, we're going to go with the standard Hot Toys Marvel display base, a hexagonal base. You can see the Avengers logo. It is reflective, a little bit of mixed media here. Avengers Endgame printed there on the front, and then Loki just in a white font. Now, I do wish Hot Toys would do metallic nameplates with Marvel, but this does the trick, and it does what it's supposed to. You then have Loki's helmet. It is sculpted plastic. Doesn't look like there's too much weathering going on here, but it does kind of give a metallic effect to it, almost like a rusted effect as well. Could be iron. There is foam padding in here because unfortunately you do have to place this on the sculpt. Not super happy about that. However, I am happy they include the helmet. Let's go ahead and get those hands out the way, because hands are hands at the end of the day. But these are Loki's hands, and I can say they're amazingly painted. Now, that looks like a little bit of a defect there. I'm not the type to get bothered by that, especially if he's going to be holding his scepter. More is probably going to be going on there. However, I am curious about this thumb seam line here. As you can see, I think it's for flexibility, but I could really do without it. That's for the fist. You have some more open hands for grabbing things, maybe holding the Tesseract. This one I forgot to mention, holding the scepter. Dagger hands, whatever. Maybe a dagger hand here. Another one. I know one of these hands are like cuff hands too. They could be some magic hands. He doesn't come with any magic effect pieces. Just a bunch of gripping hands and open palm hands, cuff hands, whatever have you. Here is his mouthpiece or muzzle when he was captured with the handcuffs, and it does have some nice padding there so you don't scratch up your face sculpt. Talking about those handcuffs now, this is metallic. So the chain is metallic. The rest of the sculpt, the pieces that go over the wrists, are plastic. Not a big deal breaker there. I absolutely love the way this looks because Hot Toys always does a good job of painting things metallic, so you get a little bit of a shimmery there inside, and you got just the gold and silver paint applications. Not much weathering going on here, so this will do the trick as well. And here we have Loki's famous daggers. Now you got this one, looks a little bit different than this one. It could be one's just extended and one's not. However, maybe you could get away with him having two. Who knows? But these, barely any weathering, at least to my eye. They're just painted in a silver finish and do a good job of that. Next, we have a very, very important part of the film. Not only 2012, but Avengers Endgame, because they had to go back and collect all the stones and different things, and one of them being this Tesseract here, which I think is a cool inclusion. It's just a almost translucent blue plastic cube. You then have Loki's scepter with the Tesseract on the inside, and this weapon does have some weathering, which I'm super happy about. It is also very pointy, so be careful, but it is also metallic as well, and it goes all the way down the handle and has some nice engravings and styling here, even down at the bottom. And this is the lengthy one. You do get a short one, and each of these are painted just about the same in that finish. You get a little bit of shimmer in the gold and some nice flaking on the silver parts, a rusted effect, some weathering, and this one is just as sharp as well, also with the Tesseract, so you can have two options of whether you want the short staff or the long staff. Now let's talk about Loki himself, and let's start with the head sculpt, because this figure's been out for a while. Other Lokis have come out, and this sculpt is very controversial. However, I will say, in person, the hair, yes, is a little off. It's a bit slim, but the sculpt still looks like Tom Hiddleston to me. And in person, the paint applications, the way the eyes look, it's another well done head sculpt by Hot Toys. Another thing I want to mention is with the hair, it does kind of poke out and have these different strands of being sculpted. I think Hot Toys always does a good job of sculpted hair. Maybe they went a little bit easier because the helmet might be on, so they needed this smoother, but here all this texture just looks amazing. And I wanted to point out to be careful of this. If you know the Hot Toys Anakin, if you have threaded hair with any figure like this at the end, it can pull up the threads of your figure if it is fabric on the back, which of course this is. Now let's talk about the rest of the suit. It is mostly pleather, and when I mean that, I mean that. It is layers upon layers and layers of pleather and mixed media. You get some plastic feelings, some suede soft goods, but the most of it, for the most part, the undersuit, this torso piece, his pants, all pleather. And the only way that we'll know if this lasts is to just see what it does over time, unfortunately. If you treat your pleather, I recommend doing that. If not, take your chances. Make sure you're climate controlled in your collection room, and you should be fine. Don't let any moisture get in there. So while we're still on the outfit here, I do want to show all this weathering effect and metallic looking detail going all over the armor pieces. It's even on the vest coat here. It looks great. Even on the gauntlet, it just looks really good at looking kind of medieval-ish, and all the engravings and carvings in the armor. It does have texture, raised texture, some rivets here. It just looks fantastic. The pleather is flowy. There is no wire in it, so it can't be posed, but you have a suede underside just like you do on the outside. And the same for the backside as well. Coming down to the boots, it is sculpted plastic, so at least those aren't pleather, and you do get a split cut boot design. Now, I'm not a personal fan of a split cut boot. I'd prefer it to be one seamless because I like the realism of Hot Toys, but I do know that people prefer this, especially if you are a huge poser. So shout out to all my posers out there. Here is the tread on the bottom of Loki's shoes. Not much to look at there, and then the standard Hot Toys stamp. So let's get this guy moving and see what he does. The suit feels like it hinders going up the full 90, and it could also be the shoulder the shoulder pauldrons here. He does have, I can't really tell because of the suit. It's either, I don't feel another joint in there, so it's double jointed elbow in there, but it's really hard to do because of the suit and the pleather and these guards here. His legs do go out doing the splits. You are on ratchets doing about 90, maybe a little bit more if you push it. I'm not that crazy, especially with all this pleather. Let's see. Yeah, he gets good ab crunch. There's really no hindering there because it's all soft good here. Let's talk about this cape. I actually really love it. There's no wire in it, but I love the layering effect that it has here, and it does drape nice to me. So this is a pretty cool effect. You probably get some good walking poses with this. If you've seen my posing stuff before, I kind of stick with walking poses. I think they're dynamic and give a good effect to the figure. So now we're going to get this helmet on. It is a two-piece, so it just pulls apart here. Just be careful. And then I'm sure you probably want to remove the head. So we're going to do that. We're going to remove his head, just pop it off. So you have to pull it over the sculpt. I did it off camera because I didn't want to struggle. And then you take the other piece and it should, whoops, wrong way. Should just fit over the skull. Okay guys, I got it on. It is super sketchy. It is very form-fitting, and you can see why Hot Toys made that hair slim. You can also, I guess, call that helmet hair if you want when you take it off, so maybe that's why they did that. But this is super tight. This is actually how I'm gonna have him, so I'm probably not gonna take this back off, but it looks good, and I think it brings the likeness out that much more. So let's get this on the body here and see what we're working with. All right, there we go. Got it all on now. That's on the figure around it. Like I said, very form-fitting, but it does the look and gets Loki to look like he's supposed to rule something. Alright guys, and wrapping up on Loki from Avengers Endgame, going back in time to the 2012, he is the God of Mischief, and I'm going to be honest, this figure for me, with all the mixed materials, the posability is not that great. He's aesthetically pleasing to look at, but he's not my most impressive figure in the collection. But I am happy that I have him, and I absolutely connect with Loki. I love watching him in the films. One of my favorite scenes is actually him picking up that Tesseract in Endgame, you know, when he's handcuffed and muzzled. So I'm super glad it comes with those accessories. All around, he's just a great character. I love his arc. I even liked him in the TV show. So to have a Loki in my collection, it's absolutely a dream come true. So I'm not going to complain on him any further than that. I'm glad he comes with the Tesseract, as he should. And yeah, that'll do it for this video. That's where I'm going to leave it, guys. If you like this one, please give it a like. Comment down below your thoughts on this figure, or if you already have this figure in your collection. And as always, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.